Kicking it with KeKe. Kicking it with KeKe. Kicking it with KeKe. Full of personality. Switching up the storyline on God, we making history.
Writing books, changing lives, one day at a time. Put your problems to the side. Enjoy yourself. Free your mind.
Kicking it with KeKe.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and all that other shit. We are in season 4, guys. Season 4. I know how I do, and y'all should know who I am by now. But for the newbies, I am your girl, KeKe Chanel, award-winning author, lifestyle blogger, and certified life coach, also podcast host. I do a lot, y'all. I do a lot and I love what I do and I do what I love. So I never work a day in my life, right? It's all about personal development. When we operate as our higher self, we go through life more abundantly, So that's who I am. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my guest. I like to give my guests the opportunity to introduce themselves. So, Cerena, go ahead and tell the people who you are and what you do. How you doing?
Hello. My name is Cerena. I am the owner of Melanin Behavior LLC. It is a beauty brand. I am also a makeup artist and naturalist. I love to do natural hairstyles, crochet, box braids, whatever it is that you love to do with your natural hair. I'm all for that. I'm natural girl to the T. I love being natural. Perms is not for me. I am in the midst of becoming a full-time licensed cosmetologist. So looking for my products that I'm planning on. I'm launching in November, late November though. So it'll be body butter and my own matte lipstick line. And I am considering doing my own crochet hairline as well, as well as some perfume too for my girls who love to use perfume, but it will be all natural. I'm an all natural girl. I don't really like chemicals. Chemicals make my scalp itch. I just can't do it.
Absolutely. Listen, girl, look, I love that resume. Congratulations and all of that great thing. I love to hear all the things, right? So
yeah,
keep doing what you're doing. And we're going to get into this podcast. But before we get into our topic, I like to ask the question because this is about personal development. What does personal development mean to Cerena?
So personal development to Cerena means improving my mind, body, and soul. So not just more so about who I am as a person, improving my mindset, how I think, how I learn, how I adapt to people, how I adapt to my surroundings. My body is important because I really take health very, very seriously. We need to learn as people to take care of our bodies, get rid of all these things that's not meant to be in it. I know we love McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's, but we got to learn how to eat some vegetables, some fruits, drink our water. Like I'm all for that. Drink tea, whatever it is that you love to do. Take care of you. That's what it means to me. Take care of you.
Absolutely. I love that. And I so agree because once you make that lifestyle change, the old habits that you had back then, you don't want those things anymore. They kind of like fall away, along the way, but it is a mindset thing and it takes discipline to do that and consistency.
Yes.
Because you could start off and then a couple months later you back into that same old habit. So, and not all habits are bad because developing those good habits where you make sure you drink your water, or you make sure that you exercise in your mind, make sure you pouring into yourself in a positive way, like that matters. And those are positive habits to create every day. So thank you for telling us about your what personal development means to you. So today's topic is beauty only skin deep.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, you're a beauty brand. You all about that health, that the wellness, the natural beauty, and all of that good stuff. So
Yeah.
I want to talk about that. Is
Yeah.
beauty only skin deep? Do you believe that it is or that it isn't?
So I believe beauty comes in many forms: white, black, Hispanic, Arabic, Hindu, whatever you are, whatever your race is, you are beautiful. A lot of people feel like beauty is just race specific or body type specific. A lot of what I see a lot on social media nowadays, people feel like you got to have this or you got to have that. You got to make sure you got the big boobs or the big booty and the small waist. People feel like that's beautiful, but they got people out here who don't have that and forget that they are beautiful on the inside and out. Because I grew up as a Black girl, naturalist. I had nappy hair. I believed that I had nappy hair. I was not pretty because I used to see all the Hispanic girls with long silky hair, and I used to be like, "Oh, I'm not pretty because I don't have long silky hair." And then when I got older, start seeing Kim Kardashian, all these other women who got all these surgeries, and I feel like, okay, I have to look like that in order to be beautiful. I don't have to look like that to be beautiful. I can look like exactly what I look like now. Have a bonnet on, my mama robe on, slippers, like, and still be beautiful. Like, I don't have to look like what everybody say or what somebody else tell me I should look like. I'm gonna look like Cerena at the end of the day.
That's why I asked the question, is beauty only skin deep? Because societal standards, yes, it is. Because you see the surface, you see the
Right,
physical. I think that
right.
beauty it goes beyond that, because you can be the most beautiful person physically and ugly as hell because
Mm-hmm.
your soul is messed up. You heartless. You have a
Right,
bad attitude. You
right,
don't know how to treat people. You lack
right,
compassion. You're
right,
self-absorbed. So
right,
all of that plays a part in what I believe beautiful is. And
right,
I've never wanted to be the person to look like everybody else.
right,
I had people tease me in high school because when I got perms, they didn't take well because they burned so bad. So
right.
my hair was not always the straightest. And they said stuff behind my back. They didn't say it to my face, but it always got back to me.
Yeah.
And it hurt a little bit. But at the same time, it's like, who the hell are you to tell me how to wear my hair? To tell me that
Mhm.
sitting there getting chemical burns is cute.
Right,
I
right.
still got those perms, yeah, because it is what it is. We want to fit in at some point. But I
Yeah,
believe that when we accept ourselves wholeheartedly, and that goes into self-love, which I want to talk about a little bit, we stop conforming and we embrace
right.
our being different, and our beauty shines wherever we go. We just radiate that light. We glow different. We speak
Yeah,
different. We act
right.
different. We exude that confidence and all of that kind of stuff. So, talk about self-love when it comes to beauty. Like, I know we talked a little bit off camera about self-love, and that can sometimes be a struggle to people, especially
Mhm.
when you grow up in a certain environment, or you see a certain thing that's desired by the people that you see desiring it. What does
Yeah.
that self-love mean to Cerena?
Self-love to Cerena means loving me for me. It took me a long, long, long time to understand how to love me for who I am and what I look like, because it's not gonna be another Cerena. There's not gonna be another um what I look like. Maybe there is, but I gotta learn how to appreciate who I am for who I am. I can't look to somebody to care for me and love for me if I can't give that same love that I'm looking for to myself. I
Absolutely.
took a lot of time trying to get it from some other people, and those people didn't do nothing but manipulate it and torture it and turn it any type of way they could, and it didn't do nothing but make me feel even more empty on the inside than I was already feeling when I wanted or desired that person or look for love from that person. I have to like understand and who I am, what I am, who I want to be and how much love and care that I need for whatever purpose that I have in life.
Absolutely. I agree. And that goes into mental health as well. Because, you know, a lot of us in our Black community equate mental health with mental illness. And those are two different things. Although neglecting your mental health can lead to mental illness, I think it plays a big part in self-love, because when you're not mentally stable, you allow anybody to love on you, and you can sometimes neglect loving on yourself.
Anybody.
Mm-hmm. So when it comes to beauty, self-love, and personal development, how important would you say that mental health comes into play?
Mental health is the biggest part of all of that, because I say mental health is the biggest part of that because in the Black community, in the world in general, everybody is looking to feel temporarily high or happy. Like everybody is smoke. I'm not gonna say just everybody, because at one point I used to, smoke the Mary Jane. I feel like that was all that made me feel good. And then when that Mary Jane wore off, it was just back to reality. And the reason why I say Mary Jane, because I used to have some substance abuse at one point. If I wasn't high, I had to be drunk. If I wasn't drunk, I had to be high.
Right.
And it got to the point where I was just like, I can't keep doing this to myself. And I just wanted to stop smoking, and then I wanted to stop drinking at the same time. So God formed a way. Once you get a taste of reality without that substance, it's just like you feel better, you feel more energized. Like when I used to be out of my mind like this. I just felt like I was just happy, like I just had to have it. And I'm still around people who use it and like to drink and all that. And I tell them now, they be like, you smoking, you drinking? I'll be like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And they be like, what? I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'll change my life around. I feel so much better. And they be like, well, girl, that's you. It is. I don't need that stuff. When you become a slave to a substance, a drink, a blunt, or whatever, that thing owns you. And what I told myself, this will not own me.
Right.
I'm going to be who I am. I need to learn how to live life without having to have this in order to be happy. Once I learned how to be happy without that, the world was mine. That's all I need.
Listen, anything that you use to cover up something else that you don't want to do the work to get out of is a problem.
Right.
A lot of people don't want to admit that or acknowledge it, but it is. Because if you're so broken to where you don't want to look at the person staring back in the mirror and say, I love you, I see you, let's help us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that you need to speak to somebody.
Yes,
It's pretty much
talk to somebody.
Talk to somebody.
ASAP.
Because it's only gonna spiral down from that point.
Yeah.
And until you're able to be real with yourself and examine your mental health and say, you know what, I'm not healthy, mind, body, or spirit. I need some help. And those people who love you and support you will be there to catch you when you ask for that help. Some people don't like to ask. Some people don't like to pressure, and that's fine. But when you make that decision, when Cerena made that decision and say, you know what, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
You got out of it.
Yeah.
And you will have people that say, hey, I remember when, but I'm not that no more. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not remembering when. Yeah, I love that. And so that brings me to, how did you decide to start Melanin Behavior LLC?
Melanin Behavior. Well, to be honest with you, Melanin Behavior was not Melanin Behavior at first. Melanin Behavior was actually Slay Empress at first.
Oh.
And it was just a name I generated for like a website to figure out what I wanted my business name to be. And I I like the name. It was pretty.
Mhm.
It stood for royalty.
Mhm.
But the more I kept using the name, I just didn't feel any connection to it.
Yep.
So I had to pick a name that stood for me, something that meant, stood for my Black girl, something that stood for my beauty, something that stood for not just my own beauty, but that could stand for other girls' beauty as well. And that's when one day, I don't know, I was at home, I was thinking it just came out of nowhere while I was at home and I was watching TV and I was just like, Melanin Behavior. That's what I want to name my business. And I just said it just like that. And I was just like, that's my business. I'm sticking with it. And it's been sticking ever since. Like that, I love that name. I
I
just
love
love
the
every bit
name
about
too,
it.
man. I love the name too. And so
Yeah.
tell listeners all about it. Like podcasts, do you interview people? Is it just you talking about, different topics? How is it? Like tell us the flow of it.
So my podcast, I do have my podcast is called Melanin Talk. So Melanin Talk came from me when I first started the podcast. I wanted to talk about things I was going through at the moment, like dealing with family drama, personal issues from work, and then like over time, I was just like, people don't want to hear about that. People don't want to hear about drama. I don't want to talk about drama no more. So that's when I started to talk about things about how to become a better person, how to become like be a pro and makeup artist. I love to do makeup.
Mhm.
Become a pro as a boss, like as a business owner. Just talk about mental health too, because I love to talk about mental health.
Mhm.
Because I feel like there are so many people out there who are just dealing with whatever they're going in the side on the inside that's eating them up.
Mhm.
So Melanin Talk was like my safe place. Like I get to talk about whatever I want to and then reach out to the people who are like looking for help but don't know where to find it. And that was like basically me saying what other people are scared to say that are Black girls and just don't know how to say, okay, I need help. I'm depressed. I'm this, I'm that. I don't know what to do. I'm confused. And just basically my own instruction manual to how to
Mhm.
become a boss female, like be beautiful, love myself, like how to be honest with myself. Like the best way to be honest with yourself is just to kind of address your problem.
Yes, talk about it.
That's where
Yes.
it came from.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I want to be on there. I
I
want to be
don't have
on there.
any guests just yet, but I would love for you to be a guest.
I
I
could
would
be
love
the
for you
first
to be
one. I
a guest.
volunteer.
Yay.
But I
Yay.
love that. I love that you creating a safe space for people who need it because you talking about some of the things that you encountered or that you've gone through yourself or heard about. Because as a makeup artist and doing hair and things like that, people like to open up to y'all. Like you
Yeah.
sitting there getting your hair done and you just talking because you feel safe.
Yeah.
Somebody's in your hair and your crown, so you feel safe with that person. So I'm glad that you were obedient, starting Melanin Talk because
Mm,
it's needed, it's relevant, and so
yeah.
keep doing it. Keep doing it. I am a supporter. I went and I found it on Apple. So I'll make sure that I subscribe and all of that good stuff and listen in. And I will be posting reviews and stuff like that because
Thank you.
as a fellow podcaster, if anything that you need and I can offer my assistance, just let me know. I mean, let me
Thank
know.
you.
Like you want to pick my brain or something?
Yes, I do. I do. I do.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So I do have a couple questions, like for you, if you don't mind me asking.
Not a problem.
Um, So my question to you, it's the same question you asked me. What started like KeKe Chanel? Like what influenced you to start this podcast? Because when I first came across your podcast, it was on Instagram, and I was just like, oh my god, she looked like I thought she was somebody famous at first. I was just like, oh, she looked like somebody famous. So let me see what she about. Let me see about this
Hey, listen, from
podcast.
your lips to God's ears. How about that? No, I just want to make sure that I make a
Yeah.
difference. I want to make people feel good by listening to me or the conversations that I have with people that come on. Keke Chanel is a pen name because I'm a writer first. My nickname is KeKe because my real name is Nikita. So I combined KeKe with one of my favorite designers, came up with KeKe Chanel, and that's what I write under. And so Kicking It with KeKe came about as a blog. I would blog about different topics, and I got so much feedback where when the pandemic hit, I was like, okay, we don't have nothing to do. Let's just go ahead and start going live. Let's just get out of my comfort zone and go live. So I started going live on Instagram Monday nights, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. I'm still doing it. It went so fast. Like people wanted to be a part of it so quickly that I was booked up. In season 1, I was booked up through season 3. And I was like, you know what? Okay, so Instagram limits some of the stuff that you could talk about because they will flag you and take your stuff down. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and stop talking about doing this podcast and go ahead and do the podcast. And it has been on and popping ever since. I love doing it. I wanted personal development to be the focal point because that is so broad. It's life, love, and all that other shit, right? So we talking about it. As a certified life coach, my business name is called Push Life Coaching. And the Push is an acronym that stands for Proclaiming Unbreakable Self-Healing. So I feel like we all need a push to get to that point. And why not talk about positive personal development and mindset and all the things that we go through as a people, as a race, as a culture, as a community, to change the way we look and to change our outlook on trials and tribulations and obstacles that come our way. Because if we don't encounter something, how will our faith be unwavered? Like, because I love God. I don't know about y'all, but I love God. So I put God first in everything. So, I just want to use my platform to inspire people like yourself. And thank you for coming across me. I don't know how that happened, but I'm glad that it did. So, when you ask me that question, that is how KeKe Chanel, like I'm building a brand here. I want people to think about KeKe Chanel and immediately have a smile or immediately feel good inside because of the impression that I leave on you guys. So
I love that. And then as somebody who's still in the development stage with my podcast, I do look like up to you because you've been doing this, you've been putting in your effort and your time, and you just been doing your thing. And it's not just to shine light on just you, but shine light on everybody. Like the community that you want to reach out to. And that's what I want my podcast to work towards and like actually put, because it's not just about the message, it's about who the message is reached to, like who the message touches. Like and nowadays in our society, kids in my generation, they are a hot mess. They are completely a hot mess, and they need, I don't know what to say. They need a whooping from Jesus himself, like that at this point. Like, I don't know. Like, they need help today, not tomorrow.
But you doing your part, though. You creating that safe space. You making it where when they get ready to come on over, Cerena got a place for you to listen, and then you'll be able to come in and share your story if that's what you decide to do. So, I think podcasting gets a bad rep sometimes because it's bad stuff in everything you do. But when you're doing it and you're doing it for the right reasons, man, your people will come. The message will get to the people that it's supposed to get to. I don't worry about numbers. And I've heard people say, oh, you have a good following, but your likes are not where they should be, or your numbers are not where they should be. Like, I don't care nothing about that. Like, as long as it's reaching 1 or 2 people, then I've done my job. That all will come in time. But if I'm putting forth the effort and I'm showing up every week, then the people going to say, okay, she's being consistent. Oh, I like what she's talking about. I like her vibe. So let me go ahead and get on this train. Because when I tell you the train is about to leave the station,
it's about to go.
It's going to leave the station. If you don't have a ticket on there, you're going to be waiting until it come back. And I don't know when that's going to come back. So, and I'm not trying to hype myself up. It's just, I know that it's going to happen because God didn't give me this gift for no reason. So,
he did.
And I believe in myself. I believe in the gifts that he put inside of me. And I know that those gifts will make room for me. They are making room for me. And the sky's the limit. Matter of fact, the sky ain't even the limit because it's footprints on the moon. We didn't have men walking on the moon. So why not you? And I tell people that all the time. Stop worrying about what these famous people did because you don't know what they had to go through. You don't know the sacrifices they had. It just looks easy
Right.
now because they're in their winning season. We all have that
Right.
season of wilderness until you can get
Right.
to that winning season. So don't
Right.
don't look at what somebody else has and compare it to where you are now. No, you're
Right.
right where you need to be because you still have to grow. You still have to learn. You still have to put in your time because anything
Right.
that comes so quick, it's going to leave quicker.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, yeah, I hope that answered your question because I could talk all on and on about that.
You answered my question. You spoke a word. Child. Reason why I asked that question because as a fellow podcaster, I do fall off sometimes. I do have times where I don't post like an episode for weeks because I'm stuck in that. Oh, I'm not getting enough likes, or I'm not getting enough listeners, or I'm not getting enough this, and just to hear somebody say it's gonna come, it's gonna happen. You just gotta be patient. You gotta wait till God say, okay, it's time. If God don't say it's time, it's not gonna happen. That's one thing that I learned, like in my growing faith, because in my growing faith, I do give up on myself a little bit too much. Because as as somebody who looks on social media and sees other people like Megan Thee Stallion, I love me some Megan Thee Stallion, but I love seeing her progress, like her work that she put in, but I don't know what she had to do in the background to get where she at. Because she didn't just start out like, okay, I'm here. This is my thing.
I mean, Megan
got
put in this, and she has a hell of a story. She put in the work. She lost her mom, she lost her grandmother, and she was going to school doing all this stuff. And a lot of people don't understand that she probably felt like crap before she hit the stage, but she went in there and she gave it her all, and she left her print on everybody.
Yeah.
So that's why she is, and she's humble. Like she's humble, and just like Beyonce did the work.
Beyonce is a queen. Like just because, okay, she and Jay-Z married, not because of this, but ain't Beyonce been putting in work since day one, since she was a child. This is something she's been doing for years.
Yes.
And there's too many people out here who just trying to get rich overnight. And
overnight success. They want that microwave success, not realizing that you have to sometimes slow cook some stuff in the oven in order for it to taste good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I tell people that all the time. Like, you can't cook a Thanksgiving meal in a damn microwave and expect it to taste good. You got to bake some stuff. Got to slow cook some stuff, simmer some stuff, season it up and let it sit overnight. Because that turkey, you got to let it sit a couple of days for you could be real good and juicy and seasoned when you get ready to cook it that day or fry it up. So stop. If you listen.
I'm just thinking about that turkey.
Listen, if you listening, stop worrying about somebody else's journey and do the work so that your journey can be what you want it to be. And operating your purpose, man. If you know that you're doing something and you ain't supposed to be doing it, you're doing yourself a disservice because that is not who God called you to be. And I know a lot of people may not believe in God, but whoever you believe in, like take a look at yourself and really evaluate if you love your life. If your life is not fulfilling or inspiring you every day, it's time to do something different.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yep.
It is. Another question I got to ask you. How do you feel about having a 9-to-5 and a side hustle at the same time? Like, did you have a 9-to-5 when you first started KeKe Chanel, or you just like, okay, I'm a working home mom, I ain't got nothing to do?
I did. I actually had a job, and I was in management, and it would make me physically sick when I got there. And so I got pregnant with my son, and I put myself on bed rest, and I just never went back.
What?
And so I took that as, okay, while you're raising your son, being at home with your family, And what are you doing? So I would stay up late at night writing and writing and writing. And so I did research. I put out my books and I started helping other people put out books. And up until recently, I worked for myself for 13 years. Now I'm back working an 8 to 5. I mean, I'm enjoying it. And it is allowing me to do things with my podcast and my writing and my other business to keep it afloat and things like that. But
yeah,
I don't look at it as it's a part of my purpose. That's how I look at it. You
right.
know, God allowed me to get that job. And let me just share a testimony. I was on the job for 2 months and got promoted to another department, making more money in 2 months. I wasn't even in production and I got promoted because
Wow.
people are always watching. And that's what they told me. We were watching, even though you didn't see us. And you were the perfect candidate for this new position. We didn't see
Yeah,
anybody else getting it but you. So I
yeah.
was like, okay, God. Okay.
He
So
was
people
like
are watching.
her.
Yes. Like people are
Her.
watching. And my word for this year is adjusting. Like adjust in any facet of the word. Like adjust, adjustment, adjusting, adjusted. That's what I had to do this year. And my life is better because of it. So I tell anybody who's listening, don't worry about where you are right now. Do the work so that God can open up those doors when they are supposed to be open. And then
And
when they open, you have done everything that you're supposed to do so that you're able to step into those rooms and act like you're supposed to be there.
right.
So yeah,
Yeah. Act like you're supposed to be there.
And I tell anybody, if you have to work a 9 to 5 or 8 to 10, whoever, do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But make sure that you spend some time working on your passion after you get off or doing a lunch break or whatever. Make time for
Yeah.
what's important to you so that it can grow as well. Because we all know Tabitha Brown.
She was an Uber driver.
Okay.
An Uber driver.
And now look at her. Auntie, how you doing, Tab? Come on, let me interview you. Come on over here to Kicking It with KeKe if you listening.
Yes,
Somebody tag her
Tabitha.
in this right now and let her know that I would love to
Tabitha.
interview her.
Yeah, girl.
But yeah, so you have to, you just have to make sure that you're always ready so that you don't have to get ready when the people come knocking. Because I'll ask you this question. If someone approach you right now about your podcast or about your beauty brand and say, hey, I have $1 million to invest in you, where will you take it using our money? Like what are we investing in? Are you going to be able to tell them that? Are you going to be able to show up? Are you going to be able to be consistent?
Baby, if they were to invest $1 million into my business right now, I hop on it so quick. I make about 100 body butters a day, make them put out lipsticks every day, but spread some of that love to the community. Maybe do a big old podcast of like maybe 5 or 10 podcasters that I know. Like it's just gonna be a big old fiesta.
You
Like,
have a plan. That's what I was waiting for.
Accomplishments being met.
You have a plan. Most people can't say that because they don't think that far ahead. But when the end goal is big and you know that you have something that's valuable and relevant and necessary, you're already thinking ahead. You're already planning ahead. So you 10 times ahead of the game because you threw that out there without a second thought.
Yeah.
Yes.
When God call you to do something, either answer or he gonna give gifts to somebody else. Absolutely. He gonna say, hey, I'm trying to give you this gift, but obviously you don't want it. So I'm gonna take it. Or Tabitha over here because she ready. She won't. If you don't want your gift, I'm gonna just take it from you.
He ready, she ready, they ready. We ready?
Yeah.
You ready? I'm ready. Yeah. You ready? Hey. But yeah, so tell the people how they can connect with you, how they can listen in to Melanin Talk, how they can go ahead and connect with Melanin Behavior and all the things. Go ahead and tell the people. Plug it all. Plug it all.
Okay, so you can connect with me on Instagram My handle is Serena's _, Melanin Behavior, and Cerena is spelled with a C, not an S. Cerenas. Okay, because a lot of people put that Serina. No. Serena's over here. And you can go connect with me on my Facebook. It's Melanin Behavior. TikTok, Melanin Behavior. Y'all go check me out because I got funny videos.
All kind of stuff,
makeup
y'all.
videos, all kinds of videos. Catch my podcast on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Catch your girl. Okay, come find me, come look for me. And if you need help or any mental health advice, I'm here. I'm thinking of starting my own mental health group for like business owners or girls who just young girls, older women, young women, whoever you are. I want to reach out to the community, especially our women, because we take on a lot and we feel like nobody's listening to what we need or what our worries are, what we're thinking about, what's on our plate. So we really need to touch our women, our children, these teenage girls. They coming up, they seeing all this crazy stuff on social media and they think this is what they have to do. No, this is not what you do. God has a purpose for you. Whatever that purpose is, you got to find it. Listen to God before you listen to Satan, because Satan's gonna have you in some place you don't need to be.
Listen, talk about it. But listen, it has been amazing having you on today. Look, we can go on and on and on, but we don't want to keep the people as long because you already know our attention span get a little, But before we get off of here, I like to ask all of my guests this question. On a personal note, what would now Cerena tell young Cerena about today's topic? Is beauty only skin deep?
I would tell younger Cerena, love you first. Love you first. Put you first. Because if you don't put you first, nobody else is going to see your value. You can't put love and effort into something that's not going to value you or is looking to belittle you. Because I had a lot of belittling in my life, and I learned to succumb to the hate that I call it hate now. Because baby, look at all this. Look at this. It's beautiful. So love you, Cerena. Listen to your hearts. Go towards your purpose. Don't worry about the boys. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about what you ain't got. Worry about you. Focus on you. Love the skin you are in. Love the body you have. Love the hair you have. Because her is costing too much.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I love that. And Cerena, thank you for coming to kick it with me this evening. I appreciate the energy. It has been so much fun. Thank you for asking those questions because it's refreshing to have guests to come on and ask me questions. So thank you again for that. Is there any closing remarks you would like to leave listeners with today before we get off?
I loved it. Everything. Y'all look forward to more KeKe, kicking it with KeKe, because she is the bomb. Diggity, okay? I love everything about this podcast. I love it all.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's very humbling to know that I am impacting people like yourself who is also impacting other people in a positive light. So thank you for that. You guys have been listening to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and All That Other Shit, Season 4, y'all. I have been joined with Cerena of Melanin Talk with Cerena and Melanin Behavior. So until next time, you guys be blessed. Make sure you love yourself so that you can love someone else, and love and light.